Hello student, now we start our new chapter gravitation. Already we learn in 11th 10th standard about the what is the gravitation. So Newton's law of gravitation is the famous law, and we know that the value of G means capital G is gravitational constant, correct? So value of G is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So we also know about acceleration due to gravity, means small g represented by small g, and we know that this value is 9.8 meter per second square. So we know about all these points. So we start a new point in this chapter is gravitation. So first point is Kepler's laws. So Kepler is the scientist name. He describes a laws, and the first law is law of orbit. So statement for law of orbit: all planets move in elliptical orbits around the Sun, with the Sun at one of the foci of the ellipse. So these diagrams show that description of this law of orbit statement. So now this diagram is an ellipse traced by a planet with the Sun at the focus. Okay, so here S and S dash of the foci of the ellipse, the Sun being at S, and P and A is the point where planet is situated when its motion around the Sun. So here P point is the closest point along the orbit from S, and it's called the perihelion, and A is the farthest point point from S, and is called a aphelion. So perihelion and aphelion. So closest points from Sun when it orbits of planet, the closest to the Sun is called the perihelion, and the farthest distance is more distance. It's called of planet and Sun. It's called the aphelion. Okay. So now A is the farthest distance shows from the Sun to planet, and P shows the closest point of planet from the Sun. Now PA is the major axis. Here PA is the major axis. The distance is 2A. So PO is distance is A, and OA distance is A. So we get here total distance of PA is 2A. And now MN is the major axis, and distance is 2B. So NO distance is small b, and ON distance is small b. So we get here total distance 2B. So this is the first law of orbits, means all planets move in elliptical orbits around the Sun, with the Sun at the one of the foci of the ellipse. So this is the ellipse, and Sun is situated at one location. Okay. Now second law of Kepler's law. Second law is law of areas. Statement: the line that joins a planet and the Sun sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. So here Kepler observed that the planets do not move around the Sun with the uniform speed. So they move faster when they are near to the Sun, while they move slower when they are further from the Sun. This is explained by this law. These figures show that the orbit of the planet P moving around the Sun. When its planet is close to the Sun, then its move up fast, and then away from the Sun. When planet is away from the Sun, then its move slower. So time period for motion of the area is same. So average speed is same for the motion of the orbit of the planet. So these laws of area gives explanation of equal interval of time and area. Suppose the Sun is at the origin, the position of planet is denoted by small r. So here small r vector, and the perpendicular components of its momentum is denoted by p vector. So here p vector, p is momentum and r is the position of the planet. So the area swept by the planet of mass m in given interval delta t. So delta is the small interval of time period. So t represented time period is delta a vector, which is given by, so delta a means area. So area small time period, area cover a small area. Okay, means small area cover in a small interval of time. So delta a vector is equal to half r vector into v vector delta a. This is the equation number 1. So in this formula we know that this is the delta a, the small area, shows the small area. R vector is the position vector, v vector, and delta t the small time period, v is the velocity. So for small delta t, v is perpendicular to r vector. V is perpendicular to r vector, and the area of the triangle. So now here see this figure. The r is the position vector, and f is the force, and p vector is the momentum. So here create a triangle. Okay, so just creating a triangle. So therefore delta a upon delta t, means rearrange this formula. Delta a and delta t comes to the denominator, and then delta a vector upon delta t is equal to half r vector into v vector. Okay, so triangle, so area of the triangle is using this formula for the area of triangle. So this is the equation number 2. So the linear momentum p vector is the product of mass into velocity. We know the formula for linear momentum. So p vector is equal to m mass v into velocity, v vector. So equation number 3. So putting this for v vector is equal to, so now v vector is equal to p vector upon m. In the above equation we get, so our equation is this: delta a upon vector upon delta t is equal to half r vector into p vector upon m. So we put up the value in this equation. So we get this equation. This is number 4. So therefore L vector is equal to R vector into P vector. Equation number 5. So where this is the L means where L vector is angular momentum. So we need the linear momentum. Now angular momentum is denoted by L. And its formula for angular momentum is R vector into P vector. So here P vector means linear momentum and R vector means position of vector. So we get here this product is angular momentum. So for central force, the angular momentum is conserved. For the central force, the angular momentum is conserved. So delta A vector upon delta T is equal to L vector. So R cross into P, R vector cross P vector is gives the L vector means angular momentum. So put up the values. L vector upon 2m is equal to constant. Why constant? Because angular momentum is conserved. So this is the equation number 6 we get, and this proves the law of areas. This is a consequence of the gravitational force being a central force.